Hi there, and tonight in Call to Cinema, we're doing a very special collection video looking at my Twilight Time and Code Red collections and maybe rank them too. So let's get that done. Hi there, I want to thank you guys for joining me tonight. Hey there, Ron, welcome, man. And this video here is sponsored by Swift and my amazing patrons, whose name will be scrolling up at the end of the screen, at the end of the video. So keep an eye out for that. That's a new thing in the channel. We have a bunch of Twilight Time and a whole bunch of Code Red things to get through tonight that we're going to be looking at. If you watched earlier on today, I did a Call to Comics video. That one was sponsored, of course, by my amazingly generous patrons and by Dustin Lewis, who sent in a donation. So anytime donation or super chat comes in, then the next time that I do a video, their name is used for the sponsor of the video, because I don't have actual sponsors like you'd see on some channels. I'm not that big of a channel. All right. So with all that being said, tonight we're going to be looking at Code Red, Twilight Time. We're going to be looking into a couple of the companies that sell some of those movies, and doing an update on some of the stuff that's coming out in the next little while as well. So with that being said, and with around 4 or 5 of you being here, please make sure you hit the like, subscribe button, share, do all that jazzy stuff. And if you want to super chat or donate, links down there. If you don't, just enjoy the video. That's the big thing, right? Now, with that all being said, let's just hop right into it and start out. Would you prefer to start with Code Red or Twilight Time? I can start with either one of those. I chose these two tonight because they're not dead like labels, but unfortunately, the originators of both of the labels has sadly passed away. And I thought that they were two companies that would go well together for a video like this. Twilight Time, not a problem. So my Twilight Time, I'll have those beautiful, like, what do you call them? Transparent, translucent, whatever covers and cases. So we'll start there. I'll go through every Twilight Time I got, let you know my thoughts on those, and if you want me to, I can rank them as well after we do that. Code Red will be going on second. One of Twilight Time that I really enjoy. I love Twilight Time stuff, and I really wish they were still came out in the way that they came out initially. For those that ever bought Twilight Time, your first purchase of them was Fright Night and Mysterious Island. That's actually pretty cool, man. Hey there, Elvin, man. Doing pretty good tonight. Hey there, Sean. Still so well in the secondary market. That's really true. They do. Hey, Chris, I knew you'd be here for this. Chris asked me yesterday if I was going to do one of these last night, but we were in the middle of a big gaming session last night. We marathoned for almost the entire day. But we're started with Code Yorga Vampire. I love this cover. I love these films, and don't have them here now, but I have them put away. But I've got like all the booklets for all these releases. These all have these really cool little booklets. Usually around 8 or 12 pages. This here has some features on it. One of the big things for Twilight Time was that guy that did this here, the guy that unfortunately passed away, was big on soundtracks. He actually worked in the music industry, like as kind of like procuring music for a record label before we started. We went with Twilight Time. So one of the big things that he decided to do was he decided to say, okay, I want to make sure that the music is really front and center on the features on all of these Twilight Time releases. So isolated score tracks were something you'd see like every once in a while in some companies, but they were front and center when it came to Twilight Time. This one has isolated score and audio commentary with film historians Dave Duvall and Tim Sullivan. We're doing with Yorga, the Robert Corey Rue Morgue interview, reading by Dave Duvall and Tim Sullivan. Fangirl radio tribute to Robert Corey with Tim Sullivan. Steel Gallery, the MGM Archives. Steel Gallery, the Tim Sullivan Archives. And original theatrical trailer. So there's a bunch of stuff on here. You can see on the inside, they do like these really neat ones where there's often like this kind of cool inside art as well. And I'll try to show you when I can. I don't want to keep the video like too long, but there you go. Love the artwork on the inside of this. And I do like Count Yorga. I do like the second one maybe a little bit better. That one was put up by Screen Factory, but I like both of them. If you want to get the Count Yorga set together, I think a company in the UK put them out. Maybe it's Arrow Video. So we'll put it over here. No, put it down here. Next up is one that I'm sure a lot of you guys are very familiar with. And for some people, it brought them to Twilight Time in the first place. And Ronald knows all about that because that, my friends, is Fright Night. For real. Fright Night is one of, if not, yeah, one of my favorite vampire movies of all time. And probably my favorite modern vampire movie out of everything. And yes, that includes Lost Boys and all those other ones. I like Fright Night better. I just think it just goes that extra mile. When Fright Night was put out by Twilight Time, this 30th anniversary edition, this was the second time that Twilight Time put it out. It'll be put out again afterwards by Sony Pictures, but this release here, and anybody that has this, Ronald will know this. I'm sure Shauna probably knows this. Chris will probably know this. Alvin will too. This sold out extremely fast. It is one of the fastest things I saw sell out online. It just went really, really quickly. I actually thought I missed out on it, but one of my viewers at the time actually got me a copy of this for my birthday and sent it to me. So I was very excited to get that. There's no interior artwork on the Fright Night release, but it's just a fantastic release. And 30th anniversary limited edition series. I love the way they do that there. You want to see if you have one particularly Twilight Time? We'll see. Next up is one, and I've actually double dipped on this one because I actually do like this film. I know a lot of people are kind of iffy on it, but I'm a Carpenter fan. So John Carpenter's Vampires is a release that I actually really like. I actually have the Scream Factory edition too. It was really cheap. I think it was $10 on Walmart. But I really love this Twilight Time edition of it. It does again have the isolated score track, audio commentary. By the reason I didn't read the Fright Night features is because there's just so many of them. Author director John Carpenter, the making John Carpenter's Vampires, and original theatrical trailer. We do have a bit of art, still from the film on the inside there. You can tell I like vampire films, right? But again, another fantastic release by Twilight Time. I was so excited when I got this. Next up is one that I think gets overlooked a lot of times, and it's a shame that it does because it's a really good film, actually. And it is a science fiction film as opposed to the horror that you've seen here, and that is Strange Invaders. I really kind of dug on this film a lot. I like Strange Invaders. I love the artwork on this here. Again, isolated track. I do commentary with director Michael Lachlan and writer William Condon. Theatrical trailer. It's Paul Matt, Nancy Allen, Diana Scarwood. So I've got the right. Michael Lerner, Louise Fletcher. What a great cast. We do need Near Dark to be released. And here's Swift, the guy that actually is the main sponsor for this video. It's pretty uniquely different case right there. Next up is another one that I really like that I think doesn't get enough credit, and it's better than people like often say, and that is The Believers. This one took a long, long time to sell out. Hey, PlayStation, welcome, man. I missed out on that's the one I missed out on at close range that I really, really wanted. NVIDIA Rewind recently put it out, I think, so I'm probably going to grab that one. But I wish I had the Twilight, just because I love the Twilight Time. There's an aesthetic and a really kind of like premiere look to the Twilight Time label, if you know what I mean. And I'm pretty sure you do. But this is a really cool one. We got it's got Robert Loggia, I gotta get it right. Helen Shaver, Martin Sheen, of course. Richard Mauser, Jimmy Smits is in this one too. Again, really dug this film. No interior artwork on this one here. It's some of the earlier releases. But again, an excellent little film. One of those, kind of like that's what I want. I want the isolated score for that one, especially. Next up is one of the original sellout ones that I got, and very excited when I grabbed this one. And this is the Blob. Sexy Beast. I would love that Sexy Beast, actually. I don't have that one. The Believers is worth checking out, Swift. The Blob, of course, is one of the cases where I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. Might be a hot take. The remake is actually better than the original film, in my opinion. My humble opinion, the remake is actually better than the original film. Yeah, all the artwork on here is fantastic. This is a great release. No interior artwork because this again is an early one that did sell out, and isolated score track, auto commentary with director Chuck Russell and horror authority Ryan Turek. Friday Night Frights at the Cine Family and a rich theatrical trailer. Just a great release, and I'm so happy that I got this one. I actually do have the Scream Factory release of the Blob as well. Both the Vampires and the Blob were selling for $10 each at Walmart, so I picked it up to have both of them. Well, I love Steve McQueen, I really do. But for the Blob, I'm going to go Kevin Dillon over Steve McQueen. Steve McQueen would beat Kevin Dillon though if the movie was called Bullet. So there we go. Next up, again, another really cool release, especially for me. It's a Peter Medak film with Gary Oldman, Lena Olin, Annabella Sciorri, and Juliette Lewis. Can anybody tell what the movie is before I show it? Because I like this one, and I like most of these. I like this one a lot. And this is Romeo's Bleeding. Definitely worth watching if you've never checked it out. We got a classic up next. It's not in this right case though. I gotta fix that. But it is Rapid Fire with Brandon Lee and Powers Booth. This is actually directed by Dwight Little, who, hey there, Alan, who would actually go on to direct the media's right, Alan, who would go on to direct Halloween 4. This has an isolated music track, audio commentary with composer Christopher Young and film historian Nick Redman. Rest in peace, Redman. Featurette and introducing Brandon Lee and original theatrical trailer. So we're going from good Blu-ray to a 4K. Does the movie better? It depends on the film. And that is a really great question, though, because I'm going to be doing a video very soon on collecting for 4K. Because it's like when it went from VHS to DVD and then DVD to Blu-ray. There's always a switch over, and people are always saying the kind of the similar things of like, oh, I don't know, I don't want to be buying things over again. So we'll be doing a video on that. Again, there is some excellent artwork on the inside there, kind of a still from the film. Powers Booth is in this one, right? So, good bad guy. Sadly, he probably did get stuck making a movie with Seagal. Unfortunately, a lot of people did later on. And Seagal's movies, although I like some of his early stuff, I got to agree with Space Ice in that Seagal's later movies are painful to watch. I love this movie, but I hate the ending. Even though, like my better half always says, the ending was the only ending that they could do for this film, and that is Short Nice Night of Glass Dolls. The artwork on this, the cover is utterly fantastic. Twilight Time didn't do much when it came to Giallo. Didn't put out many Giallos. So when they were putting out some Giallo stuff, some Italian stuff, I made sure that was one of the things that I did pick up. It does have the isolated music track and audio commentary with film historians David Duvall and Matteo Molinari, and original English and Italian theatrical trailers. It is in Italian with English subtitles. Yeah, I would not be surprised, actually. He's really big in Russia. Yeah, I don't know mine more, but I think I got a DVD of it actually. So that's not totally true. So I do like mine more, but I just don't. I don't have like the updated edition. I got the old DVD. I probably won't rewatch it until I can upgrade it. Speaking of like Italian releases from Twilight Time, there's this Spanish release. Well, I think it's Italian, right? Yeah, it's Italian. Um, I had to grab this one here. And this is, well, Satan's Doll is what it is in English. Again, I love the cover on this one here. Um, again, I love this here. Like Cage Brown from Jallow Fever says about this movie. Just about every gothic horror and Jallow motif the filmmakers could think of in a plot that's half Agatha Christie and half Scooby Doo. How can you not want to own a movie that's half Agatha Christie and half Scooby Doo? So we got isolated music and effects track on here. Out of commentary with film starring Dave Duvall and Derek Botello. Uh, and just again, another fantastic release. Is there artwork on the inside? Well, there's again another picture on the inside for this one here. Who is the man behind the mask? You have to watch Satan's Doll to find out. Next up is I'm a huge Bronson fan, so you can see some Bronson here. Is The Mechanic. I love some of these Charles Bronson films. Is wearing, no, it was just the mask he was wearing. And Mechanic is no exception. I really do like this film. We got an isolated score track here, audio commentary with Richard H. Klein and film historian Cinema Redman. Me too, actually. I really love these clear cases. They kind of add like a prestige to it, don't they? And we got like, it's a Michael Winner film, so you know it's going to be kind of more violent or sleazy. That's what Michael Winner kind of does. We got Jan Michael Vincent, of course, in The Mechanic, along with him, a young Jan Michael Vincent. Keenan Wynn is in this as well, and of course his wife Jill Ireland is in here too. Really good film. I really like The Mechanic. As far as on the inside, they didn't have any artwork on the inside, but they do have a different picture as opposed to what you see on the cover. Next up is another Bronson film, and that is my favorite Bronson film, 10 to Midnight. What happens when you put two of Aaron's favorite things together? Charles Bronson and the slasher movie. 10 to Midnight happens, and it is freaking glorious. I love this movie. Now, the Scream Factory one has a few more like features on it. I know it because I bought it for my dad for his birthday one year. But I truly love this release of 10 to Midnight. It is fantastic. Look at this artwork. This artwork here is incredible. We got an isolated score track with some effects, audio commentary with producer Pancho Conner, casting director David Crowther, a film historian Dave Duvall, radio spots and original theatrical trailer. Again, we got Charles Bronson, Lee Elchbacher, Andrew Stevens doing really good in this one. And Jeffrey Lewis, fantastic Jeffrey Lewis, Wilford Brimley, and I think Gene Davis plays the bad guy in this, and he's a really good bad guy. Is there a scene on the inside? Yes, I can't show it to you because it includes some nudity. So you know exactly what scene it is because it's near the end of the film. This is a great, great release. I don't have a very big Twilight Time collection, but I am very proud of my Twilight Time collection. And I wish I'd gotten more of them. Next up is kind of a classic little thriller. I like it. It has a lot of like big like horror stars in it. We got Vincent Price, Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing. It also has, well, Judy Huxtable, Alfred Marks, and Michael Gotthard. Do you know who it is? Do you know what the film is? And there is interior artwork as well. I do dig this movie. It is Scream and Scream Again. I wouldn't say like it's an AIP level classic, but it is a fun little kind of like sci-fi horror mashup here with some cool work from some of the great horror veterans that are out there. And there is artwork on the inside, so we'll show that as well. Well, you were close, man. I have one more Twilight Time before, if you want me to, I can rank the Twilight Times. and then we'll go on to the Code Red, or we can just go to Code Red, whichever you guys want. Do you have a physical release of Dr. Mordred? On DVD. I don't know if I have Blu. I don't have Blu-ray. Do I have La Bamba? I do. I have I got La Bamba. It was La Bamba and Buddy Holly on DVD. It was like a 2-disc set, like it was a slimline set. If you, yeah, I'm not sure if you've ever seen it. It was like the Buddy Holly story and La Bamba were put together. I don't have them on Twilight Time though. My last Twilight Time release that I got in my collection right now is one that I saw when I was younger, and it stuck with me. It was a really big movie in my life at a period of time. It stars Peter Gallagher, Daryl Hannah, and Valerie Quinlanson. Do you know what it is? Ned the Living Dead 99 was a really good release. Is often not talked about movie Summer Lovers, which I'm probably going to be watching the next day or two. I really do like this movie, and it is about a couple that are going through the Greek island. Where's it? Which one is it? Santorini, and they encounter like this French archaeologist. Then decide to make the couple a trouble. So yeah, it's good. Now, do you want me to rank these or go on to the Code Reds? Because I ranked the last time, and some people liked the ranking and some people didn't. I hate when the spinner gets cracked, man. So, do you want me to rank these, or you want me to go right on to the Code Reds? Because I can do it either way you want to do it. But you guys have to tell me, because this is a choose your own mystery. Choose your own event. I finished my my Canadian rank already. By the way, the last time, one of them, I forgot to rank one of the releases because I had to move because I had issues with my internet. Okay, now I bought all these movies, so I do like all these movies. But everything has to be ranked in some way. So in last place, even though I do like the film, is going to be Strange Invaders. It's a good little quirky little film. I don't watch it that often, but I have watched it around 3 times since I got it. Everything here has been watched around like 3 to 4 times, basically. Some have been more. Next up, I am going to put the classic Short Night of Glass Dolls, which I do love. It's just the ending, and ending bums me out every time I watch it. And up from that, I'm going to do Count Yorga Vampire. Love the film. Love the sequel a little bit better. I watched this one around 4 times since I got it. If people ever ask me, like, do you watch everything that you own? I try to, but I get stuck behind because I keep rewatching things that I like. Next up, we are going to put The Believers right here, which I think is a really good film, but we're going to just rank it down there just above Count Yorga. And then we're going to put Satan's Doll. Again, another kind of cool release, but again, not one of the top releases. And we'll put Rapid Fire next. I do, though I do really like this film. There's some I can't rank it above. And after that, we have, of course, John Carpenter's Vampires, which is a fun film, but having James Woods be super crazy now makes the movie lose a tiny bit of its luster. With that being said, the next one up is going to be Scream and Scream Again. Love this film, but it's not the best collaboration by these guys. Then we're up to we're now to the top 6. I want to get all the right ones in the top 5. So Summer Lovers will go into the 6th spot. It almost made the top 5. In fifth place, we're going to put The Mechanic, a really good Charles Bronson film. In the fourth place, Romeo's Bleeding. Really do like this film. In third place, 10 to Midnight, my favorite Bronson movie. In second place, we have The Blob, an excellent remake, probably one of the best remakes of all time. And in first place, it had to be Fright Night. For real. One of my favorite movies of all time, definitely in my top five films like ever that I like and rewatch is Fright Night. It is the first movie that I watched on actual physical media when I got here to Morocco, actually. So I think this one was not sure if it was, I don't think it was region locked, actually. Did I watch my other edition of Fright Night? I got around 2 or 3 of them. And with that being said, here is my ranking for people that want to like stop and see it from last to best. It's right here. Now we're going to put these over here so we can bring over the Code Red releases. Whew. I'll say there's a few more Code Red releases. Evil Dead, Gremlins, Mad Max. Okay. And one of the neat things about these releases is some are mine of my better halves. Some she just really wanted. All right, let's start off the really good one. And that is Just Before Dawn. An underrated slasher flick, in my opinion. I actually really do like this film. We got like Chris Lemmon, the amazing Greg Henry, who was fantastic in everything he does. Love him, and of course in movies like that Brian De Palma movie, Hack Cinematic Gold. We got an extended international cut on here as well. 2019 on-camera interviews with Greg Henry, Chris Lemmon, Jamie Rose, and producer David Sheldon. Vintage interviews too, a whole bunch of stuff. First DVDs Land Before Time, The Grinch. These were Evil Dead, Gremlins. My first DVD that I ever bought was an artisan release of of Wishmaster and Wishmaster 2. Next up is one of their only unnumbered ones. It was actually an error done in the printing, but it is Cut and Run by the unfortunately now late Rogerio Deodato. Again, I actually like this film. I find it a lot of fun. We got Willie Ames, Richard Lynch, Lisa Blunt is in this, Eric LaSalle, Michael Berryman, and Karen Black. What an unusually different cast, eclectic cast for a film. But it's an action film, with a bunch of gore in there as well. It's a new 2K scan. The film that came out from the Inner Positive has both the R and unrated cuts of this film. And I forgot John Steiner was in this. Brand new interviews with Willie Ames, Leonard Mann, John Steiner, and Rogerio Deodato. First DVD was Boogie Nights. But again, it's a really cool release. I'm so glad that I have this in my collection, and I have watched it a couple times. Next up is The Witchmaker. And it was okay. It's a pretty good film. LQ Jones, audio commentary, a brand new 235 transfer for the film. On-camera interview with LQ Jones, with Anthony Isley and Elvie Moore, John Lodge as Luther the Berserk. So there you go, guys. Beautiful, beautiful artwork on this film. Mask of Zorro. That's a good one, man. That's a good start. Next up is The Boneyard. I hate this. I really hate this cover. I really do. With Phyllis Diller and Norman Fell. It's more of a comedic type of one. It also has Ed Nelson and Deborah Rosen here. A bunch of features though, like new HD restoration, excessive color correction on it. Code Red were really big in doing color corrections. Audio commentary with the director and the producer. Interviews with Phyllis Diller, James Cummins, producer Richard F. Brophy. Brand new exclusive to the commentary was The Little Ghoul Grows Up, interview with actress Sally Middleton, Little Ghoul Dead Girl, conducted by associate producer Phil Smote. Oh, that's me, Phyllis Diller. It's not. It's not Phyllis Diller. First DVD, Everyone Yourself was Amityville Horror. It's a good one. And the thing is, I even thought about, hey, could I switch over the cover? But the alternate artwork sucks as well. So I really was hoping for better art with this one. Okay, next up is one with Martin Landau, Jose Ferrer, and Ruth Buzzy. Can you guess what it is before I put it up there? Born American, it's been a long time, but I have seen it, yes. And I did enjoy it. The Being. So not a bad, nice little kind of like cheesy, like monster film. But I have to read you the back of this because especially if somebody's older than me, can you let me know if this was a thing? Um, I'll point it out when I get to it because it kind of surprised me. So a strange creature roams and kills people in the small town of Pottsville. Local cop detective Mortimer Lutz, played by Willem Osco, is on the case as a fiendish beast kills losers one by one in this classic 80s monster film. Academy Award winner Martin Landau, Academy Award winner Jose Ferrer, Dorothy Malone co-star with comedian Kinky Friedman, Murray Langston, the unknown comic in other words, John Dark, Kent Perkins, and 70s sex icon Ruth Buzzy. '70s sex icon Ruth Buzzy. Now see this monster classic from a brand new HD master. And this is directed by Jackie Kong, who directed Blood Donor, by the way. Was that a joke? Or was Ruth Buzzy like a sex symbol that I did not know about? Because that's not in my time that I remember anyway. Stone Pedal Stern. I've seen most of Lucille Ball's films, actually, I think. I don't know, man. She wasn't. Every time I read that, I don't know if they're joking or if maybe there's a time she was and I'm not aware of it because people get older and they change. I have never looked up Ruth Buzzy. Hold on a second. Um, I don't know. Maybe. Next up is One Dark Night. Get away from that confusion there. One Dark Night's a really cool film with Meg Tilly, who unfortunately has not done enough films. I know she came back for Chucky and did some stuff in the Chucky series. So that's really cool. We got Adam West here as well. Along with that, Melissa Newman, Robin Evans, Donald Hutton. Um, a cool little film that was written and directed by Tom McLaughlin, who would go on to do, of course, Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives. And again, I really do like this film. It's a bunch of features on here as well. A new remaster, a new audio commentary. Also includes a work print version of the film here too. I love when they do that, by the way. Work print version is never going to be like a really good, solid, like amazing, like quality version, but you get to see like a different cut of the film. And I really like when these uniquely different cuts come in there. You get interviews with on-camera interviews with McLaughlin, Schroeder, E.G. Daly, of course, one stars the film, makeup person Paul Clemens, director photography Hal Trussell, Nancy McLaughlin, and production designer Craig Stearns, and of course, original theatrical trailer. Love this. I got the Dean Martin roast here somewhere. Well, like a set of them. Some of them. All right. Here's a classic. This was sent to me, and I was so excited that this one was sent to me because I actually kind of really dig this film, and Again, I'm gonna see if nobody tries to guess even when I do this, but I'm gonna try one more time. One Dark Night, Phantasm, like the mausoleum scenes. Oh yeah, this one here has Juliet Mills, Elizabeth Turner, David Collin Jr., and it's directed by Oliver Hillman. Anybody want to guess on this one? Nobody? No guesses? People that left, like a couple people left. People that left during before this one are gonna feel sad. Bo Derek, Linda Carter, not me too actually. Is Beyond the Door with Juliet Mills and Richard Johnson. I actually really dig this movie. Does it have a Creepers poster? Damn. That's one of the ones. My birthday's next month, and I put a list of movies for my better half to get me for my birthday. And I think that was on the list. That was one of the ones on the list. I'm not quite sure which one she got, but I just put like 10 or 11 random ones to let her pick a couple of them because she couldn't get a lot. We had family she had family that was in Miami. So she got some stuff for me on Amazon. I don't know what it is. It's going to be the first year in a long time. I actually don't know my birthday presents. And I'm excited about that. But again, never saw Beyond the Door. It's one of those like Jessica Barrett lives a blissful life in San Francisco with two kids, a record executive husband, and a baby on the way. Life is pretty full, but when she finds out that her new baby belongs to the Prince of Darkness, I would do a birthday show. She becomes a demonically possessed beast, and her ex-boyfriend, devil worshiper Dimitri, played by Richard Johnson, from, of course, Zombie, intends to sacrifice her child in order to renew his twisted existence. Kind of digging it. There's a lot of different horror and unique stuff in here as well. And here's one that I did not know even existed until I actually got the Twilight Time edition of Twilight Time, the Code Red edition of this one. And I'm pretty sure I didn't know it existed. Maybe I did, I did not remember it. Definitely under the moniker that's under, and that is that sequel that people tend to forget, The Hills Have Eyes Part 3, otherwise known as Mind Ripper, with Lance Henriksen and Giovanni Ribisi. It has been a long time since I've seen this movie. It was produced by Wes Craven, who was the kind of executive producer on it. It was written by Jonathan Craven and Phil Middleman, and it was directed by Joe Gayton. Yeah, The Hills Have Eyes 3, Mind Ripper. I cannot for the life of me remember anything about this right now. But I remember being shocked when I saw this because I didn't know there was a Hills Have Eyes 3. I had no idea. Watch it. See, I have, but I don't remember it. Okay, my better half's a huge fan of like action movies and post-apocalyptic cinema. And when I say that, I mean like the cheesy fun stuff. Uh, so when these Roger Corman post-nuke collections, when some of these came, it was obviously the real thing was there, but I don't think it was well known. She wanted to have as many of them as we could get, and there was a sale going on, so we grabbed which ones we could. And one of them we got here was Wheels of Fire. Look at this cover, man! Isn't this an amazing cover? These are fun, cheesy films. We also got David Carradine, Richard Hill, and Louis Skew in Dune Warriors. These are the movies where I think sometimes they put the most money into the covers of the films. But this is a fun film. Actually, I did like this film. Directed by Sergio Santiago, who always directs fun stuff. They did actually. They put it as a site exclusive with another film. Look at that. It's part of their Mad Max knockoff type films. But just look, doesn't that look fun? And yes, that is for those that are wrestling fans. That is Katrina Winters there, who was in both WWE and TNA. She became a horror like movie host afterwards. Also grabbed with Rick Hill again and Kat Shea, The Devastator. Hey, Kubrick lover, man. Welcome, man. Shock. Oh, dude, you gotta watch Shocking Arc. It's so fun. Me and my better half watched it a while back. We 70, 8, 9 best movies. I totally agree, man. Um, we get an interview with Terrence O'Hara on here, and of course, Katrina Winter again dressed up for the film. A modern day Sybil Danning. For those who remember, Sybil Danning hosted a adventure like theater line of VHS films. She actually played when she was in TNA. I think her character was like a vampire. Next up is a super gory, super good Spanish Western thriller that is amazingly tense, violent as hell, but something that I gotta say I do think everybody should see at least once. But for me, this is something I had to own. It's a favorite of my dad's. It's a favorite of mine. It is Cutthroats 9. Never seen this movie. I recommend that you do. A band of cutthroat chain gang prisoners are chained together and on the loose as they play cat and mouse with each other in this violent, gritty Spanish thriller. Greed and Gold are the name of the game in the 72 box office flop, unfortunately, that has since gained a cult following. Director C. Firm Calexis picked up the film several years later, reshot the gory violence as a gimmick to bring in the 42 Second Street audience, with a cardboard mask given to the paying audience attendees to wear to avoid watching the violent scenes when they happen. The gimmick was a failure, but thanks to today's youth audience, the film has gained a cult following, and thanks especially to the added scenes. And here we go. Oh yeah, she had a much like Elvira had the movie Macabre series that she did, and midnight thriller stuff. Um, Sybil Danning had an adventure theater one, and one of my releases I got here. I think it's probably my Plizia Teche film, the tough ones. I think that's the one that has the actually an opening or Sybil Danning opening on it. Great Silence, amazing film, which I sadly do not have, and I'm ashamed of that. Do you have Solar Babies? I don't have Solar Babies. I saw that in theater though, you know? Truly underrated. The next film that I'm going to show you, as you guys know, I'm a huge slasher fan, and I'm always looking for those underrated, like went under the wire slashers. This one has the star of Friday the 13th, Part 3. So before I say it, and which one you guys are going to jump out and say what it is first? So Dana Kimmel is in this one, but not just Dana Kimmel. We also have Susan Strasberg, Bob Hopkins, Patrick McNee. Somebody's got to be able to guess this one. Tick, 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 tick. Nobody? Kind of surprised, actually. But it is Sweet 16, a fantastic little slasher film. Really like this movie. I really wish more people would see this because it's a excellent film with a great twist at the end, by the way. Next up is one of those films that I truly do love, and not everybody does though. But out of like the three films that he did, like on this Last House on the Left and Hitchhike being the other two, this is my favorite of the David Hess kind of like sleazy, like serial killer one. Um, Serial killer, so kind of like essay, in it, is House on the Edge of the Park with Gregorio Dowdle. Recently came out again from Severin Films. I think they put out a 4K of this one actually, and I think 88 Films did as well. You do need to see Sweet 16, Chris. It is so good. It's definitely worth watching, man. You need to see it. But this is a great release. HD master with exclusive color correction, on-camera interviews with David Hess, John Morgan, Carolyn Murdoch, on-camera interview with the director Rogerio Deodato, Stills Gallery original theatrical trailer. I guess I really just fell in love with this movie. I love the twist at the end of the film too. I thought it was really neat that they went in that direction. I did not expect it when the first time I saw the film. Yeah, it's such a cool film, and I do find myself going back to watch it more than I do some of the others in that category. The very first Code Red movie that ever came out on Blu-ray. Anybody remember what it is? Without googling it, do you know the first Blu-ray that Code Red ever put out? The Electric Chair. This is the first. It was hard to give hints for this one. And before Katrina did stuff for them, there was another wrestler that did stuff for them. And you know who it was? It was Maria Canales. She was the other host. Because Katrina Winter came after, I think, but Maria Canales, I think, was first, if I remember correctly. She did Maria's B movie mayhem mode. I would love to tell you I remember this movie, but I don't remember a damn thing about this film. Hey there, Dag. Welcome, man. I don't think I have a secret American Graffiti. I think I've only seen it once too, and that was in the VHS days. Or another little slasher that I found kind of interesting. Um, Directed by Skip Skolnick, and starring mostly people that you wouldn't know, but they do a good job in the film. And that is Hide and Go Shriek. Close your eyes, count to 10, and run for your lives. Again, really, really enjoy slasher films. This is one of the ones that fell under the radar for me. It took me a while before I saw it. Okay, I have a Jose Larraz film next. Hey there, Rye. Welcome, man. Oh, really? That is awesome to know. That's what we want to hear. Got to speak to David a few times on Facebook, uh, and he was really nice actually. On the Laserdisc, nice. So, all right, well, now I'm a little bit. People are, guess the film. We'll try this one. And he was like a Renaissance man too. Hess also, like, he painted, he did music. He actually met his wife on Last House on the Left. This is done by Jose Larraz. It has Jeff Healey, not that Jeff Healey, Martha Belton, Lucille Jameson, John Thomason. Do you know the film? It's a pretty sexy Jose Larraz film. It's a pretty all sexy Jose Larraz film. And it was recently put out by another company. It may have been Severin. He did write an Elvis song, but I don't remember the name of it. Tap Out, no clue. Black Candles. I actually really dig this film. It is a weird ass film, but I love it. And it is so unlike a lot of the Jose Larraz's other films, but there's just something about it that I really dig. Probably because I'm a huge Phantasm fan, and I like films that have this almost dreamlike quality to them. This one really does, and like for actually obvious reasons in the movie, but yeah, it has a very dreamlike kind of weird quality to it. And I always dig films like that. I always dig on films like that. All right. Probably one of the worst films in my collection, but still a film that I really enjoy and I love because you know me, guys. I love me some bad cinema. The film has Dean Russell, Ann Wilkinson, Michael Brody. You wrote "All Shook Up." Oh, that's a good song too. Elaine Warren, Jeanette Kelly, Tony G, and was produced and directed by Don Jones. Can anybody name this Not quite so classic. 70s exploitation, um, slasher, ghost story, killer movie. Um, and we do need Sleepaway Camp on 4K. I would actually love that. And I got all three of them. Like I got one once up from Scream Factory. I got two and three from Scream Factory. And I've got two and three from 88 Films as well. The Forest. It has an amazing cover. It is not an amazing film, but it is so weird that I kind of love it for its weirdness. Um, it's one of those movies that truly was sold on this artwork. I have no doubt that this artwork was done probably before the movie was ever made or to salvage the film. But I kind of dug it. And, it had Ann Wilkinson. So I just enjoyed it. Also, with posters. That is true. And that's the original posters, too. So I showed you a Maria Canales one. Now we are back. Do I have no Grandpa's Graveyard's YouTube Grand's Graveyard YouTube channel? He loves Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 and loves the actress in that film. Pamela Springsteen. She actually the sister of Bruce Springsteen. She's actually a very famous photographer now. She doesn't like to talk about the films, unfortunately. But I don't know if I have or not. I watch so many channels, but I'll check them out if I haven't, because I'm also a huge fan of 2 and 3. 2 being my favorite of all the Sleepaway Camp films, just to let you know. But this one here stars, well, it's produced and directed by Ciro Santiago. And it is Silk. She bangs them, breaks them, and books them. And we are back to Katrina. So it was Maria's B movie Mayhem, and for Katrina, did they have what was the name that they used for her releases? Katrina something theater, I think. So this is the longer European version mastered in HD. So it's not the short version; it's the longer European version of the film. Well, it is a great performance because she knows what she's doing, and she knows exactly what it is and how to play it. We're not finished with Sirius Santiago yet, guys. Not when we have this movie with Richard Norton and Corinne Wall and Robert Patrick to look at. I don't know, actually. I don't know if they ever got any of the MGM releases. Equalizer 2000. So there you go. Another cool little film with Sirius Santiago with Richard Norton, who a lot of you guys probably know from Good Guy with Jackie Chan and a bunch of the Cynthia Rothrock films. Sometimes as her enemy, sometimes as her partner, but in a lot of his films. I think he's going to be the new one too that she's doing. But look at that! Look at this cover. Isn't it an amazing cover? A weapon without limits, a warrior without equal. Needless to say, one me and my better half really like. And we finish off with another Sirius Santiago, Roger Corman's Post New Collection. Is it Sirius Santiago? It is, yeah. Edition. And this one here, this is your last chance to guess, guys. This is your last chance to guess something. It stars Rebecca Holden, Chuck Wagner, Lynn Holly Johnson, and Barbara Hooper. It was directed and produced by Sirius Santiago. The art in these covers are amazing, aren't they? And they're fun films. They're really fun films. They're not like Hollywood blockbusters, but hey there, Morgan. Welcome. It's been too long. We went through the Twilight time, and we're right at the end of the Code Red, but I'm ranking them afterwards. It doesn't ring a bell. Well, it is the Sisterhood. And look, again, amazing artwork on these covers. I love having so many of the Roger Corman Post New collections in my collection. The year is 2021 AD. Women have been enslaved by a brutal army of men who survived the nuclear holocaust. 2201. It's way in the future, guys. Their only hope for freedom is in the hands of a nomadic band of furious she-warriors, the Sisterhood. Starring Rebecca Holden from Knight Rider, of course. Lynn Holly Johnson, Where the Boys Are, For Your Eyes Only. She was the one that skated. That would mean skater. Chuck Wagner from, of course, Automan. He was Automan. And Richard Dreier from Savage Streets. Watch The Sisterhood uncut for the first time in the U.S. in HD. They have an interview with star Rebecca Holden. Were those the original VHS covers? I think they were, actually. They may have had a few different covers, but I'm pretty sure these were some of the original covers. Now comes the hard part. I got a lot more Code Red than I had of Twilight Time, which makes it harder to rank these. But we're going to do it. We're going to try. Because the ranking is also good for people that came in late. They'll get to see this entire collection again, because I shall be ranking them. It's pretty easy to go for last place, actually, because I don't remember the movie very well, and I was kind of mad on it when I saw it, but it was okay. And that is Boneyard with Phyllis Diller. I'm going to put that in last place, but not a bad film. It's just that something's got to go in last place. There's a ton of features on here, though. And second to last, we are putting. Where's it at? The Electric Chair. It's neat that we get to see like one of the original, like earlier films. It's neat that we get the early one because it has Maria Canales. Would later, go back to wrestling. Katrina Winter would take over as their host. But I don't remember a damn thing about this movie. For those guys that just came in, I'm ranking the films now. You get so you get to see the whole collection again. After that, I have to put The Hills of Eyes 3, Mind Ripper. It's a movie that really coasts on The Hills of Eyes name. Worth a watch, definitely worth a watch. But it's definitely not The Hills of Eyes as we saw with the other ones. I hope I don't drop these. Next up is going to be The Witchmaker. I just don't remember much about it. That's the honest God's truth. So we'll put that up next. Where's that at? Well, there's one here that I know is going to come. And in next place, we have The Being with Martin Landau, Jose Ferrer, and sex symbol Ruth Buzzy. It's for those that came later, what I'm saying, it's actually written on the back. 70s sex icon Ruth Buzzy. So I guess in a weird way, you could kind of say it died with one, right? Because two is fun, but it's not really that good. We'll go with an easy one. I think we're gonna. Although I do like this film, we'll put Dune Warrior next. It's harder to rank some of these here, Roger Corman Post New Collection, because I really do like a lot of them. Yeah, Ruth Buzzy's from Laughing. On the back of the case, Kubrick, it actually says sex icon Ruth Buzzy, 70 sex icon Ruth Buzzy. And I wondered, is that a joke or was she a sex icon back in the day? Like I was young. I don't know. Next up, we are going to put. Do love this film, but Wheels of Fire. Bri, was she a sex icon? You know a lot of these people. You've met a lot of people in conventions and stuff like that, or like in your work. I just never heard it before. Go with The Devastator next. It's a good film. I just can't remember that well. And after that, we're going to put Silk. When you think it was kind of a mean thing to do if they actually put it as a joke. And then we'll go with The Sisterhood. I do love these films. They're so cool. Equalizer 2000, because Richard Norton, got to have him there. We're down to the top 10 now. And in 10th place, we're going to put, it's a bit of a classic, so it might be a bit controversial. Beyond the Door with Juliet Mills. I do love me some Juliet Mills. It's got to be, that's what I was thinking. And in 9th place, thank you. Yes, me too. Where it's at right now, it's 222 where it is, where I'm at right now in Morocco, in Marrakesh. The Forest. This a good movie? No. Do I watch it like more often than I probably should be watching a bad movie like this? Yep. Yep, I do. All right. Next up is going to be, oh God, Cut and Run. Again, Ricardo Diodato will like this. Yeah, there you go. Now we're getting into getting hard because these are some of my favorites here. So we're gonna go with Hide and Go Shriek. Interesting little film, but I haven't watched it in a while. We're down to the top 6. So in 5th place, we're going to put Jose Larraz's Black Candles. I know I'm probably alone in liking this. Hey, welcome back, PlayStation. Your package game is Reptilicus Tentacles. Excellent. I have that release. It's really good. I'm a huge fan of monster movies. In 5th place, it's getting hard now. I'm going to put Cutthroats 9 because I really, really like Cutthroats 9. Whew. In 4th place, we're going to go with One Dark Night with Meg Tilly and Adam West. In 3rd place, we'll put it's such a weird film, but it is such a good film. That's why I made the top 10. Sweet 16. Again, another one that I think not enough people saw. In 2nd place, this is so hard. Is the movie that I'm going to watch later on today, or tomorrow morning, Just Before Dawn. So I actually, you mean the new Evil Dead movie? With kind of like the in a modern. Oh, I love it actually. It looks scary and gory, which is kind of cool. So in 1st place, leaves only one title left, guys. Anybody remember what it is? Can anybody tell me what this is going to be before I put it up here? See if you remember. We were watching close enough. The cover on Just Before Dawn is really good. There's a slipcover for Just Before Dawn. I know because my dad has it. It's kind of iffy on it. I was going to do like a trailer reaction video on a couple of different movies, but I keep getting demonetized in my trailer reaction videos and stuff. The Force is already put in there. Good guess, though. It is The House on the Edge of the Park. I own this Freak Show edition of this as well when they put it in a 3-pack with 2 other films, including Delirium and another movie. But again, see, You should remember this, Rye, because you came in when I was talking with David Hess. But I've watched this movie so many times. And for those that just came in, if you want to see the movies ranked uh, from from last to best, or if you're watching this later on and it's not live, you can actually pause for that. And here they are right here. Now, I do have some other Code Red releases that are DVD. I have Dead Pit. I have a couple like Me and Johnny Barrows and one of the other Fred Williamson ones. Um, and I have the one, oh God, what's it called, guys? About the, was it like, it was a Canadian one, an exploitation one? Ghost House, Ghost Trap, Ghost something. Hold on, maybe I got it here. If I got it here, I'll show you. No, no, The Force is about an hour and a half too long, but it is cheesy bad, and I kind of love it for that. But is it a good movie? It is not Kubrick, and I'll tell you that now. Ghost Keeper, that is it. Thank you so much. And I do have it here, so I can show you my like one of my Code Reds. I don't have my other Code Reds there. I had some of my Vinegar Syndrome releases, but Ghost Keeper is right here. This is the 30th anniversary edition. I love kind of exploitation films. So I had to have this movie. Did I like the film? I actually did. I actually did like the film. And there we go. We have looked at my Twilight time and my. So for those that came in late, the ones to see the ranking for the Twilight time releases and to see what top Twilight times I had. I had altogether 14 Twilight time releases. In 14th place was Strange Invaders. 13 was Short Night of Glass Dolls. 12th was Count Yorga Vampire. 11 was The Believers. 10 was Satan's Doll. 9 was Rapid Fire. 8 was John Carpenter's Vampires. Thank you. 7 was Scream and Scream Again. 6th was Summer Lovers. 5th was The Mechanic, the original, of course. 4th was Romeo's Bleeding. 3rd was 10 to Midnight. It's a cool release, man. I love the artwork on the Twilight Time releases. 2nd was The Blob. In 2nd place, The Blob. And in number 1 spot was Fright Night. You know, I'm going to say it. You know, I'm going to say it. For real. And there we go. That is our Twilight Time and Code Red collection videos. We'll be doing another collection video later on this week. What I did want to do now before I let everybody go, because I know you guys want to get going. Thank you so much. They're going to release Heavy Metal and Heavy Metal 2000 on standard DVD. Probably not. Like now we're going to more towards 4K. So it's Blu-ray that's going to be like the thing now. Is that had the Twilight Time releases. I like Twilight Time releases. I wish I would have held on to the Egyptian. There's so many good ones. I did look at Ruth Buzzer Young, by the way. They're coming out soon. Is the re-release of Species collection? I guess it'll be more of a streamlined collection as opposed to the other stuff from 88 Films. Snake and Crane Arts of Shaolin is coming. So is a new new one for Mardi Gras Massacre with some neat artwork. Iceman Cometh Deluxe Collector's Edition. Saucy 70s, a British sex comedy threesome. There goes my my monetization. And Ronin Flicks also did some really neat stuff here. So that came out soon. Well, they got some Jet Li stuff coming out, and recent arrivals for them. I will let you know next time Ronin Flix is a sale because I do love their stuff. Um, Stuff that I want to get. Children Should Play with Dead Things 4K release. I wonder if that's any good. I know the movies are good. I just don't know if the 4K release is good. The Toolbox Murders 4K. I kind of want to upgrade that one. Dunwich Horror, I really want. Angela Mao, I love Angela Mao. Nightmare Man, I would love to upgrade. I got the in addition to this one. I was a big fan of Tiffany Shepis. Totally loved her, man. I'm gonna do a martial arts film video. I will definitely do one. I'll let you know ahead of time. I do still have to get the Shadowscope Volume 2. My better half, she loves this one. But there you go. I won't keep you guys too long tonight because we'll do a bigger video on this here in the near future. But with that being said, I want to thank everybody that came in tonight. I want to thank Swift for the donation earlier, and that's the reason Swift's name got mentioned at the beginning of the video. And I want to thank all my everybody that came and watched tonight, all the patrons out there. And guys, here's a little tape segment at the end with a little bit of thanks. Give a special shout out to my patrons. You guys keep this thing going. You're amazingly awesome. And hope to see you guys there in the next video. So there you go. And now my actual outro.